An email today from a P1 named Brian who says, Chris, I heard you talking about the woman at Wendy's who took your order, and when you asked, how are you, she said, I'm blessed and highly favored. That's right. My daughter.
You misquoted her at first. Your daughter, Kelly, had to correct you.
She did correct me, and she wanted to make sure I got that, and I did. I thought I had remembered her saying, I'm blessed and chosen. She said, I'm blessed and highly favored. We had a discussion last night on exactly what that means.
What'd you learn?
We feel like you're highly favored by God, but does it say that ever in the Bible? Is that a term that is used?
I know I've heard that term before, but I don't know where it came from.
I don't either. But this guy says, I'm a P1. His name is Brian. And he says, it reminded me of something that happened to me about 3 weeks ago. My wife and I ordered Chinese food for the family. And when it arrived through DoorDash, on one of the boxes, someone who works there, or maybe the DoorDash driver, had written in pen on top of one of the boxes, John 3:16, with a little heart below it. My wife said, what the heck is this? Is this somebody else's order?
That's John's.
In apartment 316?
He said, does his address start with 316? What is this?
Boy.
What is this? So I had to tell my wife, no, that's a biblical verse.
It's
Probably one of the most famous.
honey, if you'd have watched football back in the 70s and
That's
80s,
true.
you'd know.
If you watched football in the 70s, you'll know that.
Even I know that
There was
one.
a guy with a colorful
I know
wig.
that one. That's right. You would hold
held
up
a sign.
John 3:16. So John 3:16 is written on the container, and the wife's like, "This is not our food."
We got John's dinner.
I thought I married a smart one.
Yeah, she felt bad. She felt bad.
I mean, no disrespect. And Kelly, I would never want you to bring this up with your family, certainly not on Bible study night.
Mm-mm.
But if someone hands you your food out the window and says, "Hail Satan, have a nice day, thanks for coming."
Oh my God!
Did that person get fired?
I think so.
Because
oh yeah, I think so.
Because Satan is known to spread hate, I guess, and
is he?
Mm-hmm.
that's the rumor.
That's what I hear.
Well, look, if you go back and read that John 3:16,
The reputation speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in that book.
Are you legally allowed to fire somebody if they were to start saying?
That's a good question.
Not for that.
Now, the lady that at the Wendy's said, "I'm blessed and
highly favored.
which is biblical, of course. And I just said, "Oh, great, me too,
Me too.
me
Is what
too."
you
I
said.
said, I did. But if he had said, if a guy says,
Hail all Satan.
"Hail all Satan," I'm fine because I know
Enjoy your shake.
the fires of hell are going to get us all. Have a nice night.
There's some hot wings in
I'd
there.
have a problem.
They're on us.
I'd have a problem with that.
We had some extra fries left over. Put an extra bag in there for you. Hail Satan.
It's a double standard.
It is, but
It's not mainstream.
not
That's a
mainstream.
fact.
You can get
Yeah,
away
it's
with
not
what she
me.
said to you at the window, but if somebody said that to you, then that's a double
Well,
standard. They'd say, no, you can't do that and they would say, now that's religious because that's your religion, and you can't do that. You can't dispel that to our customers.
Yeah, but the woman.
But nobody's going to
Nobody's
complain
gonna
about that.
complain about that. Even if you're agnostic, or you probably wouldn't complain.
You might find it like a militant atheist
That, yeah.
who's
You're the only one.
litigious who might do something.
But most
like
would just say thanks.
And I'll tell you, I'll take it even a step further. I'll bet you if, let's say, a business, let's say the person just said, I stand with Ukraine as you go through, or somehow tells you that. I think nobody.
Pray for Ukraine.
Pray for Ukraine as they hand you, pray for Ukraine. Okay, or a little message on your bag.
Yep. Or the flag.
Yeah, but if they said, "I'm rooting for Putin."
Now you're
No, so you're
going to
fired.
get some blowback.
Oh yeah, you're getting blowback.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Even
was.
Satan's like distance from him. I don't like that.
That's why I was so offended when Chris Demm earlier said I'm rooting for Putin, just because I said the Ukraine instead of Ukraine. All right, I know the difference now. I've got it, but I think you get blowback, even though it's just opinion, really.
Right now.
Take the wrong
What
one.
if you wrote, some people comparing Putin to Hitler. If you wrote Hitler on something and handed it to somebody,
fired.
You're fired.
You're in serious trouble. Yeah.
How close does that come in this day and time? I mean, because the guy's still
I think
alive.
Hitler's established. I mean, I
Because he's
think
got
there are
history.
standards about Nazism, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can.
I think you're fired.
That's considered hate speech.
Yeah, that is. I do think that's.
I don't know
hate
that
speech.
Putin has moved into that.
Not yet.
He's
That's
not in the
strata.
box yet.
He's getting close. I mean, the things he's doing is getting him close. I think, but I have heard him compared to Hitler. I mean, I think he's top 10.
Top 10
Top
history-wise,
10
or just
all times?
I think all time. Well, top
or just
50.
like our 20th, 21st century?
top 10 all time, like worst people.
Well, maybe not. There's a bunch I don't even know.
Yeah, there's Ivan.
Listen, he's talking
Ivan
about
the
all
Terrible.
that.
Genghis Khan.
I don't even. I hear those names. I don't know if they're good or bad. I don't know what's what. But I think 20th, 21st century. I think he's certainly top 10. Don't you?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I think he's with a bullet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's moving up. He's still working.
There's some Asian dictators that I think that we
Pol
don't.
Pot.
Yeah,
Pot.
right? Yeah. I mean, he's kind of like
there were some in Africa. What's his
South
name in South
America?
America?
Yeah. I mean, to me, he's kind of like Gonzaga. Probably won't win it, but
But an impressive record.
very, very
Continues to recruit well.
I mean,
That's
In a
right.
conference you don't look at a lot.
right. I mean, the program he's built over there quietly.
Talk about the worst bracket of all time.
Let's do a bracket.
Most people really can't find it on a map.
It's that time of year.
Even Satan's like, guys, we don't even do that.
Let's do a bad guy bracket.
No, they
Can't do that?
The unsweet 64.
The unsweet.
64. But to me, that's like it's Hitler. It's always going to be Hitler.
Yeah.
Well,
Hitler's
that's
gonna
just
win
who
the-
you remember. That's just good PR.
No, I know. I think Hitler's going to win the thing. I think there's no.
Ivan the Terrible.
I feel like the more recent. I think it's Hitler's going to win the thing every single time.
Hirohito.
I know who I'm going with. I know who my one seed, my overall one is.
All right.
Okay. This is the story out of Florida, right outside Tampa. And Biggie, I know you know this. Your sister lives there with your brother-in-law and their kids. They have a plan to get rid of black vultures in a neighborhood, in particular in Hillsborough County, where they are going to try everything they can to get rid of them for 2 weeks without shooting them. And then they're going to go to shooting them because it's that bad. Bad.
I mean, you see these big, ugly vultures, especially as you're driving on the side of the road in Florida.
Yep.
And they'll just stand there. Sometimes they just don't get out of the way.
Yeah. And
I mean, they will get hit by a car for some dead raw meat.
Well, let me ask you that, kind of thinking backwards, what draws vultures? Because, I mean, are they migratory or is there enough roadkill to sustain
It's
them?
roadkill. They want the roadkill.
But they have apparently been so bad for so long that this same news station did a story on them 13 years ago. They were infiltrating the neighborhood, and they still are today. So the city council has finally said, all right, we're going to have to start shooting them because they're messing up the roofs of houses. They get on top of the roof
They're big
and
animals.
screw it up. Yeah. When I had my attic noises, remember when noises were coming from the attic and my daughter thought it was ghosts? This is my attic 6 months ago. We never figured out what this was. It went away. But a lot of people suggested vultures, big birds on the roof, which I never saw on our roof.
And you think you would see their droppings or
Yeah.
they can't just
That big.
get out of tiny little openings into and out of your attic.
Well, people were saying they didn't get into the attic. They're on the literal roof of the house, and this is the sound they make.
You wouldn't have seen poo?
I don't know. I only look. I mean, I looked up there and
A true vulture is a big bird.
huge.
Yeah.
That's what. But some neighbors are saying, yeah, but we don't need to shoot them.
The weaponry right behind residential homes. One person was like, well, what kids are going to get shot? I don't know. Why don't I put your kids in the backyard while they're doing it and see if you care?
Yeah. Now they want to get rid of the birds, but they don't.
They don't want them shot.
They
Well,
want to shoot the birds.
That's the conundrum.
Here's another guy. Same message.
I'm an animal lover, so I don't want them to hurt the vultures, but I also can't have a flock of vultures destroying my roof.
Exactly.
Need a quint.
Y'all know me.
Now how I make a living.
You take them out.
One man, one boat.
That's it.
Take care of the vultures.
Doug, you're talking about vultures. These are huge vultures in Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, Myrtle Beach, P1 Doug here. I was telling Biggie, vultures are really big, and I had a terrifying experience with one myself. I was on my motorcycle riding down a big highway here in South Carolina, and I saw one up in front of me on, roadkill on the side. Well, I was like, I'm going to move over one lane here. It's 3 lanes each direction. So I moved over in the center lane. Well, he cocks his head up and starts looking at me as I'm coming by and takes off a few feet in front of me.
Oh.
This is like a, 3.5, 4 foot wingspan, maybe 15, 20-pound bird. I had to duck. His tail feathers brushed my face. he apparently wanted a fresh meal instead of roadkill.
I guess so. But you were able to keep upright.
Yeah, like I said, I managed to. I literally had to duck down and almost kiss my gas tank because he took off right in front of me.
Wow.
Were you wearing a helmet or just sunglasses?
I was wearing my no, that's why I wasn't riding with a helmet. So
No helmet.
it was just my glasses and no windshield at the time. And yeah, if he would have hit me, I probably would have been dead. I caught a finch in the chest once, and it took my hand off the handlebar on the one side.
Just a finch.
They're smaller birds,
Yeah.
right? Much smaller.
Boy.
It's Linda Finch. Remember her?
That's bad. Yeah, Linda Finch. Wow. Okay, Doug. Thank you very much. A vulture would take you out. That's exactly right.
Without a doubt, on a motorcycle.
Yeah, knock him off for sure.
Yeah, you both lose.
We have an animal rights group, though, that says they'll protest this.
Of course I'm upset. It's unnecessary. It's violent. Of course, we're going to do what we can to not allow this to happen.
So there's a fight on their hands now. Now the
Sounds like she doesn't have a plan yet.
no, she's trying to get it together. She's upset. She's trying to get into town. Maybe.
Plentiful food for those animals that are scavengers.
Yeah. Now
In Florida.
at the end, the reporter had something to say this'll curl your hair when he's talking back to the anchor. First, though, the Texas trucker talking about vultures. Texas trucker, good to hear from you. Yes.
Good morning, guys. Listen, I'm all for them shooting them daggum birds because I remember one time I was driving probably about 80 miles an hour, and I seen this vulture on the side of the road, and I was thinking he was just going to sit there. He was doing his thing or whatever. But right about the time I passed him, he took off and took my whole right side mirror off. I mean, just clean off down the road. I'd probably killed him.
Wow. Well, that's like Myrtle Beach Doug, who
Yeah.
just said it probably would have knocked him off the motorcycle had he hit him. Man, okay, Texas trucker. I think I'm with you on this, and most neighbors are, but
When sometimes I don't see them very often, but occasionally when we're road tripping, you'll see them on the side, and they don't look real. You think that can't be a
So
bird
big.
because they're so big, but they're always
Yeah.
hanging out with the dead things.
Now, at the end of the piece, the reporter says this may be too much information, but
And this may be in the too much information category, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The plan right now is to set off detonations morning and dusk every day for 2 weeks. If after that 2 weeks there are still vultures left out there, they may shoot some of them. Then they're going to leave the bodies out there on that island to try and deter other vultures from coming back. Sorry for that.
That is grim.
Sorry.
Tom, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
that is grim.
Well, now hold up, just wait. Now.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Vultures eat dead things.
Yes.
just food? I mean, I think that
Not
would
gonna
draw
scare
more.
'em off.
I think it would draw more.
They're going to come from out of state. They're going to come from Georgia.
I feel like I would have had a follow-up question for him, like, excuse me, but isn't that just going to
Yes.
counteract make the problem worse? You think, right?